already Thursday. Okay, so I can't say womb wellness. I can say womb wellness Thursday. We'll call this a womb wellness Thursday since it's not Wednesday. But the title of today's topic, the reason that I'm dropping in, let's see if I want to use my lamp today or if we'll go without it. I kind of like natural light. I'm kind of feeling the natural light today. Yeah, so hormone balance. But sis, are you balanced? Is the name of today's mini motivational natural fibroid freedom talk. Just wanted to hop back on to bring some inspiration, insight, but most importantly, information that you can use. If you don't know my story, I had fibroids a few years ago and was told that my only option to get rid of them was to have a medical procedure, surgery, um, and that was the only way that I would get rid of them. And my story is that I knew there was some reason I could be hopeful and go a different path. I just didn't know how um, to get there. And the path was to naturally shrink fibroids. I knew nothing about it, but I decided to give that little spark of hope some attention and to trust the Most High and to take action. And I did. And 2 years later, I was naturally fibroid free. So that's what we're going into today, a talk for my lovely tribe here on the YouTube, because I missed y'all so much, to help motivate you on your path. If you too are finding yourself with uterine fibroids, you don't want to have surgery, you would like more proof or insight from somebody who has gotten rid of fibroids naturally, I'm here to stand in the gap and hold space in a way that I wish I had available to me back when I was diagnosed. So, if anybody, by the way, I never say this, so I'm going to say it now. If anybody would like to donate to this platform to keep content like this flowing to help women who are on their natural fibroid freedom journeys, you can send a donation, a love gift of any amount, to my PayPal. It's https:// paypal.me/CECILI, or you can go to Cash App, and it's just the $CECILIS as in Sam. So anyway, let's get into it. Hormone balance. But sis, are you balanced? Okay. I just wanted to highlight this because I'm going to be going deeper into the basics of what it takes to become naturally fibroid free inside of my private monthly membership to make critical information about natural fibroid elimination available at a very affordable price to women who don't know where to begin, women who are confused on what the building blocks are of a successful natural fibroid elimination regimen. For example, we all know an easy one is eating whole food plant-based as much as you can. I recommend at least 75%, but if you can do 100, it will increase your chances at succeeding at dissolving fibroids, preventing them from returning. But you start where you are, right? That's one of the building blocks of having a solid foundation to build your journey to natural fibroid freedom. And there are other categories like having a proper plan in place to address stress management. But with every category, there are subcategories, and each subcategory can be tailored a little bit more personal to the woman who we are speaking to personally, which is why shrinking fibroids and what I did is not exactly going to be an easy one word, one sentence answer, right? Everybody always wants to know, what herbs did you take? It doesn't matter if those are not the herbs that are going to help reverse the hormone imbalance in your womb. If somebody has fibroids because they have a severe case of metabolic disorder, which is another deeper web of things to kind of figure out, we have to kind of see what that person has been eating, see what that person's DNA strand, their ancestors, their body type was, right? And everybody, it's very different from person to person. So that's why I encourage you to book one-on-one consultations or sign up for 90-day private coaching for personalized, specific assistance. But as I said, I reopening my private monthly membership for women who are looking for where to begin to build that solid foundation. And that is called Womb Hang Clan. And what it will give you is regular attention to help you focus in on those areas that make up the foundations of what a solid fibroid freedom action plan is. It'll help you with learning what lifestyle changes you need to make, deeper than eating whole food plant-based, right? I'll be giving you recipes. I'll be showing you behind the scenes of things that I'm eating. Or maybe I'll go into a deeper look into actual foods that are going to enhance the energies in the womb to begin to cultivate the environment where fibroids are not comfortable, right? It could be any of that. But then we could also do stress management. I'm a certified yoga teacher, so I could be leading you through some sequences to help you minimize and combat the effects of stress in your body and in your life. Maybe we'll dive deeper into stress. On Instagram last week, I went into the topic of weathering. I asked some questions. I did a poll on weathering, and I have a definition for weathering, which I will be diving deeper into, not just inside of my private membership, because I think this is information that everybody needs to know about. Let's see if I have the definition handy. But weathering, I think, is something that we really need to look into, right? Weathering has to do with the accumulation of racial stress that is, or rather that so-called Black women face throughout their lives that causes premature biological aging in Black women and is associated with health risks that result in Black women or result from Black women having been repeatedly exposed to social adversity and marginalization. These are things that I think make a big difference when we talk about constructing a self-care practice and awareness so that we can properly begin to address stress and really understand what stress is from all areas. Okay, because sometimes stress is as simple as, oh my God, my boss is stressing me out, or my children are a lot for me to handle and manage every other aspect of my life. I'm stressed. Sometimes stress is intergenerational. Sometimes stress is environmental, which is what we talked about last week on Instagram. Sometimes stress could be from being in a climate where there's a lot of tension, whether that be racial tension, whether that be tension where against women, or maybe not even that. Maybe it's because you're in a country, US, where a lot of the food supply is tampered with, sometimes contaminated, with things like xenoestrogens or worse that lead to bigger and worse diseases over time. So these are all things that I'll be going into deeper. So don't worry. I will be sharing information on that in the future. But I definitely see that there are deeper ways that fibroids can be reverse engineered so we can go deeper and find out why we personally have fibroids and then construct a plan that will safeguard us as best as possible, because nothing is perfect and nothing is ever 100%, right? But we just need to make sure we're doing enough of the activities for us to reverse all of the things that led up to a recipe for fibroids in our womb, right? So today, sis, are you balanced? Is really having to do with the nuts and bolts of balancing hormones. Fibroids are caused by estrogen dominance. We know that. That's some great information to have, by the way. Just attacking and addressing your situation with fibroids by constructing a plan to combat and help your body expel excess estrogen is a great starting point. I will be giving you a plan to do that inside of the private monthly membership. But in addition to that, what you need to be doing is not going to just end there with the physical things of like identifying which things are xenoestrogens, identifying which toxins and agents could be seeping into your body in your everyday life that could be causing fibroids. That's one part of the action steps. Another part is thinking about your hormone situation, your hormone picture from an emotional standpoint and a psychological standpoint. We also are called, if we're serious about shrinking fibroids, to do the energy work and the inner work on ourselves to protect ourselves from the psychological and emotional imbalances that also lead to those imbalances manifesting in our hormones, our endocrine system, our womb, and causing fibroids and a whole host of other problems. So, I am here today to give you some seeds of information on how you can set up your life, set up your daily habits to also make sure you are moving from a place of balance while you're on your natural fibroid freedom journey as it relates to your mind, your emotions, your psychological self, the non-physical bodies that are also part of who you are. Y'all know I'm big on the non-physical self. I actually personally know from personal experience, and it did work for me. And also just from my spiritual background, like everything that we see in this world and that we can hold in this realm first came out of the realm where it was not physical, you know? Things were thoughts before they were things. Fibroids were not physical before they became physical manifestations. So the more energy you give to the non-physical aspects of yourself, the more you are increasing, but almost like a rocket, your chances to shrink fibroids naturally, along with your other areas of your fibroid freedom action plan. So, number one, and all of these have to do with one piece of advice to make sure that you're balanced. Keep this in mind. Are you in your goddess energy? Okay? Are you moving from your goddess aspect of yourself? And if you don't know what that is, just think about the word goddess. Think about the definition of a goddess. When you think about that, who would you define or describe as a goddess? Do you have any archetypes in your mind from any real or make-believe situations where you'd be like, oh, she was definitely a goddess? You know, there's some properties of a goddess. And we all have these properties, but we don't always operate in the area of ourself where the goddess resides because we are at different situations in our lives and struggling with different emotions and our own thoughts in our head about ourselves at any given time, or worse, reacting and responding to what outside sources, naysayers, people who don't have our best interests at heart, labels that they put on us, right? So if you're operating in your goddess energy, you are commanding your reality. You're commanding the experiences that you are actively experiencing in the present moment. And speaking of the present moment, we recognize, the goddess recognizes that all we have is the present moment. And the present is literally that, a gift, because we have breath in our bodies. We still are here, so that means it ain't over. The fat lady ain't sang yet. We still have another chance to dust ourselves off and try again, okay? I had to reset myself when I had fibroids back into the mindset of the goddess so many times, y'all. So many times. Like, I had so many times where I would have a setback. Somebody would try to hate on me or troll me, including the doctors, or just people that just don't see my reality, my vision of natural fibroid elimination, or anything else that is big that a lot of people like to hate on because they don't believe they can do something. People like to hate on other people. But the goddess is unfazed by outside opinions, naysayers, outside sources. The goddess moves from her intuition first. The goddess moves from her intuition because she knows that is her direct conduit of communication from the creator. And she knows that even though it may be scary, even though she may be the only one, which is also a lot of times what the goddess is called to do, because the goddess is a trailblazer. The goddess is somebody that after she does something or speaks or shows up, people get in line and they're like, oh my God, I'm trying to get like that. What is she on? Right? But it's not, you don't always find yourself in that energy. I'm not saying that's easy to be like that all the time, but it's something to think about and to journal on, and to also know That's something that I worked with when I had fibroids and when I was struggling and trying to figure out how to get rid of them naturally. I had to work to get myself back in that mindset where I said, you know what? I know that I'm commanding my reality and I'm commanding every present moment based on how I'm thinking up here. And if it's bad thinking, bad situations may creep up because I didn't do anything to change them. And if it's good thinking that is fertile, that is fruitful, thinking that is on the frequency of love, if I'm editing those thoughts, when those negative thoughts come up, I'm usually experiencing that type of a situation. So keep in mind that you have a crown that you are called to put on and wear all the time, and that is your birthright, your connection to the Most High, right? And your birthright to having a fibroid-free womb 100% naturally, right? That's something that you automatically have, and you should be wearing that crown with entitlement no matter what it looks like, okay? Because everything is energy. And all you need to do is work on yours and command your energy and take action and be patient and let the creator and the realm that you're in reanimate to match your frequency and your energy. And that's all I'm here to talk about with you today. And if you want to know more about that, then you should join my monthly membership, because I'll be going into that all year long with a monthly masterclass as well as some content each week to keep you going. Now, coping versus commanding. We just talked about the goddess and what the goddess looks like and some adjectives that a goddess brings to mind, right? The goddess is not somebody that accepts and just moves from a reactionary position. A goddess is somebody who has a court, right? Almost like a queen, but goddess to me is just way more luxurious. So I like goddess, and it also keeps one foot also in the spiritual. So I like goddess because a goddess is a queen, but the goddess is also not just of the 3D realm. She's intergalactic. She's in the ether. She's doing all kinds of stuff that people say are impossible. So in order to be in touch with your goddess energy to help balance your hormones, I want you to think and ask yourself, and these are things that you can write down. Are you coping or are you commanding? And then let's look at it. Let's look at our job, our career, or our businesses and ask ourselves, are we coping or commanding? If you're commanding as it relates to your job, are you going after the things and the positions or the situations where you work that you desire, or are you just accepting? Are you in a career where you really don't want to be in anymore? Have you done anything to change that situation? If you have other certifications that you could get, are we working on those certifications? That kind of thing. If we want to be an entrepreneur, but we still have a job that we hate, are we at least starting to push and work on our business while we have that job? Because we know we still need money. So I'm not telling you you've got to quit your job. I'm just saying, are you taking active, positive action in the direction that you also have on your heart that you know is available to you as well? Now, for me, it's entrepreneurship. Oh, thank you. These are great questions. It is my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that they are resonating. Everything I'm saying, I do and have done for myself, and I'm still working on with myself. Some days I don't want to go on the live stream, right? Some days I don't want to come. I come every Saturday for the most part, unless I'm traveling or have clients. And I do Dance Fit with Cecily, which I love, but I don't want to get up and work out all the time. But I know that discipline is a trait of people that I would describe, or archetypes that I would associate with people who are successful and women who were in their goddess energy, right? And the goals that I have, I know that discipline is a thing. So keep in mind, coping versus commanding, those questions can be applied to work. They can be applied to our love relationships. They can be applied to our friendships. Are we around constantly people who are dead end and not really going anywhere? Are we not around anybody because we are in a comfort zone and we're scared to connect with people, right? A goddess is out in the community at times because she knows she is a gem and a benefit, somebody that can feed life force energy into the community. Her presence can actually help to heal the community and the collective. So ask yourself, in what ways have I contributed of my gifts? We're all different. But whatever your gifts are, have you done anything to put something out that is of positive nature or even just for inspirational purposes out into the community? Doesn't have to be it's really easy to do that now with social media. You don't even have to be out in the public. You could be posting something on Twitter, and that could be enough. You could motivate somebody into action. It only takes one person, right? But again, when we do this stuff, because it sounds like I'm going all around but it's not relating to fibroids, but it is, because everything is energy. And the more that we step into that goddess energy with our crown, the more you are taking advantage, right, of your creative energy that the fibroid has been draining and using for its own life force. You're taking the energy back. That's going to cause the fibroid to get smaller, along with your whole food plant-based diet, along with your detox and nourishment plan and everything else that you need, your workouts, because you are taking and commanding your own energy. You are using the womb energy and activating your creative control center, your womb space, regardless of whether you are trying to create what the womb creates, which is a physical baby. You're taking that energy and using it and making babies of your own creative ideas into fruition, right? Especially when you have other people in mind other than yourself, or other causes or other situations that you are going to positively feed into or give to. That helps whatever you need that much more. So keep that in mind. Are you commanding or are you coping in life? And where can you begin to command and take action to see more positive change in your life, and also push towards imparting positive change in others, right? So that's number one. Number two, sis, are you balanced, right? That's the topic at hand. Are we giving energy and attention only to actions and situations that activate our heart chakra, that activate the love frequency in us, right? So that would look like, I just said a minute ago at the intro of this talk, that I don't always feel like going live. Sometimes we have stinking thinking, right? Sometimes we have negative thoughts. We're all human. We're not perfect. But when I have them, when I'm in those types of a thought pattern, only because I've seen it work. And before I saw it work in my own life, I was told about this phenomenon, which kind of goes into like neuroplasticity, which is something that I'm going to do a whole workshop on for Womb Hang Clan monthly members. So y'all definitely want to get in on that. Should be coming up with that teaching and that training within the next probably 2 to 3 months. So anywho, you're rewiring your brain. Are you cutting off those negative thought patterns and replacing them with positive thought patterns that are of the love frequency? Those are things that you want to be doing, because anything else is going to be throwing off or draining your energy or causing you to come down to a lower vibrational pattern where sickness and disease will continue and persist, as well as things like lack or just negative situations that you don't want to deal with, right? Are we giving your energy and attention to things that are going to help you stay high vibrational and help you stay in alignment with the frequencies where miraculous healing, shrinking fibroids, things that people say you can't do really exist? They're all a vibrational frequency, and everything goes into everything about you, your life, your body, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, all goes into where you're resonating at any given moment. So it really makes a difference to edit your friend group, to edit who we're around a lot of the time. If they are not of a high vibrational frequency, if you're gossiping or around people that gossip all the time, but you don't gossip, but you listen, or you have negative thoughts about people a lot, you're talking crap about people in your head a lot, but you don't fix it, right? Just get to where you can stop doing that. Like if you have a thought, you walk past somebody in the grocery store, they have on high water pants or something, or somebody has an outfit on that you like, that is trash, right? Edit the thought. And it will be funny. It will be very tempting or whatever. So it could be something worse, right? Edit the thought as best as you can and replace it and project love onto those people, right? So you can make sure that you are putting out something loving just for other people in general. That's an opportunity for you to do that right there. Make sure you pass the test and then relax because you know you got love coming to you. You know, and you're still on your frequency, right? You didn't do anything to drop yourself down a few notches. Make sure you're giving energy and attention as best as you can only to situations, people that will help you to resonate and vibrate high. And that also has to do with what we put into our bodies. Um, Sometimes that helps you stay on a whole food plant-based diet, eating as healthy as possible, if you think about it in terms of frequency and vibration. I like to look at it like a video game. You've heard me say this before if you watched any of my old videos or you've been to any of my old trainings. When I had fibroids and I learned that food had vibrational frequency, I had no idea. I mean, it started to make sense when I learned it, but nobody ever taught me this, right? Because they don't teach you this stuff. They just teach you to go to school, to be led by accolades and trophies and achievements that you learn about in school. So it's semi brainwashing because they don't really teach you the rules of engagement for the realm and the dimension that we are in. You only learn that if you're willing to go outside of the mainstream groupthink path that we're led to be on. At least that was what I felt like with my years at school. I only learned about foods and vibrational frequency when I started to really scour and look for proof and evidence that people could and have successfully dissolved fibroids, and I did not find a lot. But I did learn that everything we put in our body, on our body, food, and even like lotions and all that kind of stuff, have a frequency, just like we have a vibrational frequency. And don't get me wrong, I do remember in maybe like one of the science classes, I probably was barely listening, that somebody tried to tell me nothing is ever static. Nothing is ever 100% like this in this realm. That if you look at certain things on another way, they're all doing that. That was of the beginner vibrational teaching that I got. But once I started getting hungry for proof, I learned the way we eat, what we eat has a numerical vibration attached to it that can either help us to be vibrating at higher frequencies or lower frequencies. And it's a no-brainer way to look at what you're eating by saying, if I'm eating a big steak, which I love steak, right? Do I eat it a lot anymore? No, because I know that that is dead. It's dead stimuli, and I am eating and becoming what I'm eating when I eat steak, right? It's low vibrational. It has virtually almost no vibration. I don't know the frequency of a steak, but anything that was an animal that was alive, there's no vibrational frequency or not much there. In order to reverse sickness and disease, shrink fibroids, and begin to do miraculous things, we have to make sure we are eating high vibrational, eating living foods, foods that are green with lots of chlorophyll, foods that are what we are trying to be. This is a good insider's fact, right? Uh, if you want to make sure you are fertile, not because you want to have children, which there's nothing wrong with wanting to have children, right? We were made as women, carriers of the sacred womb, to have babies. But if we're not at the stage or not having babies, we still are supposed to be supporting a fertile environment for our womb space, right? Because to be fertile means everything is in balance, just as far as our hormones, right? But if you want to be a quick hack on that, make sure you're not eating any fruits that have no seeds, right? And make sure you're eating seeds and eating fruits because they are literal examples of what we want to become: fertile and balanced, right? Just make sure they don't have a bunch of herbicides and pesticides, but that's another story. But again, energy and attention only to things that stimulate the love frequency and the heart chakra. A great example of that is my choice of fitness on this channel. I do Dance Fit with Cecily. I usually give a free class on Saturdays. I do that because I love it. I could be like, hey, you guys, we're going to do a high intensity interval workout, which I've also done in the past. But one thing about dancing is I love dancing. Dancing just keeps me vibrating high. I feel happier. I feel the love. I feel it radiating from my heart center as I'm doing it, even when I'm not on camera, right? So it's not like it's just for show. It keeps me in a mindset of love, of high vibrational positive thinking, right? And it also helps to slim my waistline, sweat, which we're detoxing through our biggest organ when we're sweating. Deep breathing happens when we are doing the high intensity interval workout applied to dance, which is what I bring you with Dance Fit with Cecily. And also, I have a lot of womb activation movements that stimulate pelvic floor and enhance the mind to womb connection, and so on and so forth. So, that is an example of me finding a heart chakra form of exercise where I'm doing two things at once. I'm addressing the physical exercise that we need to help cut off the food supply to fibroids. And I'm also addressing the psychological and emotional balance to support naturally balancing our hormones, as well as the other hormones that feed fibroids, like the stress hormone cortisol, and so on and so forth. And as well, womb activation. I am balancing energy and helping to harmonize and expel toxic energy, confusion, in my body, right? Because dancing cleanses our magnetic field in our womb space as well as the whole body. I can go on and on about that. I'm going to keep going though. We're moving closer toward alignment in all areas of our lives. Let's say that again. Balanced. To balance your hormones, besides the other stuff with your diet, besides attacking estrogen dominance from a diet, scientific, herbal perspective, which is a part of making sure your hormones are balanced. Another big part of it is moving towards alignment, and whatever alignment means for you. Are you doing day in and day out activities that support what you feel like is on your heart that you should be doing? Are you moving in whatever you feel like your purpose is? Or maybe you don't know what your purpose is, but maybe you have some things that you have wanted to try. Have you went out for those things? Have you explored taking that class? Have you explored skydiving or traveling to this other country to learn this awesome martial art or capoeira, like whatever it is, right? It's about you learning and drawing closer to you, you becoming the better version of you. That's what this is all about. It's about self mastery, not Cecily's self mastery. Balancing your hormones has to do with you versus you. Are you going to push past your comfort zone in certain areas to become and shed that old version of yourself that used to wish she was active, or that used to wish she had a group of friends that she could connect with and whatever? And now you're living that version of yourself, because we're never fully evolved, right? We're constantly growing in this realm. We're constantly learning. Are we learning the lessons and working and trying harder to become better people? Not in a way where it's causing stress, right? But working on bettering ourselves. That is what I'm talking about. We're talking about authenticity. Are we living our best life, or pursuing the idea of what our best life is from our heads, or are we pursuing it because we watched the latest Netflix show or the latest Real Housewives and we saw that Nene had this house, and you're like, dude, I'm about to become the dopest real estate agent and I'm going to get a house just like that. Like, not that goals are not the move, but if that is not really your journey to step out into and your reality to live in, that's going to cause some imbalance and some disharmony in other places, because you're still neglecting the parts where you're really in tune and attuned to really go and be of service and to inspire others in whatever area is true and natural and relevant to you, right? So make sure that we are always checking to make sure we're being authentic for the choices that we make, the activities and actions that we use for our daily lives and that we use to make up our everyday lives. Don't let 2024 get here and we're still looking around like, okay, let me try that. I don't know. I ain't like that. Not that you can't try stuff, but do the self work now. Ask yourself these questions. Rewind this video back and take down these questions that I'm asking you and use them to journal. Use them to journal, right? And I know how it is because I'm one of them people where I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to journal. I'm going to do what she said. I'm going to ask myself that question and then I never go back to it. Don't do that this time, right? These things help to open channels up of ourselves energetically and rewire neural pathways in the brain that were previously leading to the situations that we find ourselves in the present that we may not like. We're working on rewiring our brains and rewiring our subconscious and conscious minds, the tongue twister, rewiring. We're working on that in order to attune to the level where natural fibroid elimination exists energetically, vibrationally, mentally, and physically and spiritually. That's what these steps are for. So take action, use them, right? Being authentic, right? Keeping it real with yourself will help you get closer to alignment, right? Energetically, on the frequency for you. Your equation for what you need to change and things that you need to add that will equal alignment for you will be different than my own. So, yeah, I like to call that the equation for balance. And some of that, again, has to do with diet, detoxing, but then there's a whole part of that that only you can put in the variables that you need to fill in that blank. What about your life needs to change, needs to be altered for the better? And a good way to do that is to really be real with yourself, right? Be authentic. Stop people pleasing. Speak your truth, live your truth, look your truth. Yes, you can still wear makeup, wigs, weaves if you want, nails, but also be able to be comfortable in your truth, right? As long as you are able to be comfortable and be authentic, you are protecting your vibrational frequency, right? You're protecting your energy when you're able to do that. I don't care if you're going to go put a wig on next weekend, as long as you can wear and look how you naturally look and don't feel like there's something wrong with it. Because if you feel like that, there's some layers of artificial thinking that need to be rewired, right? Those are things that are causing fibroids to persist. You know, fibroids come from toxic, synthetic thinking that we got from somewhere, right? We got from brainwashing in television growing up. I know that there's a huge in the US. It's not as bad as it used to be, but you know, there's a whole what's it called? There's a whole thing where it's like it tried to for decades or even longer than decades get people to be brainwashed into Eurocentric standards of beauty. Okay, that's an example of a thing that has taken over a lot of people's idea of what is acceptable, to where some people have started to let that contaminate their own outlook on themselves the way God made them. And they'll never come out the house without a wig. That's an example where we need to work on ourselves and move towards authenticity so that we can shed those toxic layers that are causing hormonal imbalance, that are causing negative wiring to persist in the neural pathways that are going to lead to from the nervous system, right? That is connected to the non-physical spiritual body to a fibroid in the physical body. And I just kind of broke it down a little. We're going to go deeper. Like I said, within the next 3 months, I'll be giving a master class on rewiring the brain to shrink fibroids because it's really a thing. There's easy ways to approach that. Depends on how receptive you are to talking about the quantum, right? But for those who have to have scientific evidence of everything, we're going to get into some evidence for that as well to help you enter and understand how to rewire your brain to shrink fibroids. All right. So the last thing, I think this is the last thing, to make sure you're balanced emotionally, psychologically, energetically, sis, is to engage in energetically sound activities. This is an easy one. A lot of times we do these things anyway, we just don't realize how powerful they are, or we're not even intending, we're not connecting intentionally, knowing that these things will help us to balance hormones, but moving your physical body on a regular basis. Come to my Dance Fit with Cecily classes, or you don't have to do that. Do some yoga. I'll be bringing yoga into the private monthly membership for members of Womb Hang Clan. You'll get one workout class a week inside of the workout library. And the workout library is all fitness workouts optimized to help support natural fibroid freedom. Isn't that fun? So think about that. Energetically sound activities and actions for your life. What could we be doing? Maybe we are doing regular meditation. Maybe you are activating your throat chakra because you usually don't talk. You usually let people talk over you. Maybe we really sing, but we're scared to sing in public. If you have the ability to sing, that's a part of you being balanced, sis. I'm not saying you have to go down to Showtime at the Apollo or open up a YouTube channel, but you could if that's something you really want to do. But even just singing in your home, you know, singing to your pets, singing to your plants, activating that part of you because your beautiful, masterful plan that was created by the Most High has that in your coding for you being a beautiful, fully balanced creature, right? A beautiful, fully balanced masterpiece. If you have a gift and you're not utilizing it, that is an easy way for you to recognize and start to take action creatively in that area. And you're going to start to take back energy from fibroids and support natural hormone balance. You do that with eating whole food plant-based, you're making your fibroid freedom action plan a lot more powerful. You are increasing your chances to seeing natural fibroid freedom manifest a lot higher. It's really that simple. Your energetically healthy activity could be saying no more, right? But then it could also be exercise. It could be going and getting a massage, as long as the people are high vibrational. It could be a lot of things. It could be connecting via sisterhood, which is another reason I created the private monthly membership, Womb Hang Clan, so that I could create an outlet where other women can come. You can connect with me or connect with any of the content that I'll be sharing to help keep you in the mindset from month to month of natural fibroid freedom, what it takes to do that, what a lifestyle of natural fibroid freedom looks like realistically, and keep you motivated and inspired to stay on the journey, right? So really think about becoming a member. But other than that, I wanted to thank you for watching. Whenever you're watching this, if you stayed till the end, just give me a comment in the comment section. I have on blue leggings, so put blue leggings in the comments and I will send you a special discount code to order any of my products from my store to help you shrink fibroids on your fibroid freedom journey. Y'all know I have the By Fibroids amazing bestseller tea. It's great if you have not detoxed. It's a whole body detox as well as a womb detox, but we also target liver, the lymph, and other organs and systems. It's also very nourishing. It's got lots of rich vitamins and minerals that women that are suffering from fibroids, that are looking to change that suffering into actively shrinking and getting a handle back on their womb power and energy, by Fibroids Tea. I also have the Fibroid Formula 2-week tea bag cleanse. You can also order that, and that is great for women who are, they've done things to detox. You know, they detox regularly, you're a little more familiar, and you're looking for something quicker and more womb centric or focused on the womb, the reproductive system. I recommend that. But if you comment blue leggings in the comment section, I'll give you a discount code that I won't be giving anybody else just for watching this long. And then also keep in mind that you can now order a bundle of either of those teas along with my Green Goddess Fibroid Detox Smoothie Powder, which is also something that I did daily, that I've now made available to you, the public. It's a wonderful green smoothie powder blend to help you boost any smoothie that you make, any recipe that you put together. You want to optimize it to help you stay on track to shrink fibroids, drop my smoothie powder in that smoothie. You can get the powder and one of those teas as a bundle. Before you could only get the by Fibroids tea with the smoothie powder. I will be making the tea bag 2-week cleanse available with the smoothie powder as well. You can get them on subscribe and save as well, which is what I also recommend. And then the other thing that you can get that is an amazing womb food is my personal artisan handcrafted sea moss gel. Yes, sea moss gel is like an amazing thing. A lot of people are making sea moss gel, and that's great. A lot of people are taking advantage of this food. It's not just a womb food, it's great for the whole family. All of my sea moss flavors are great for the whole family, and they're safe to give to everybody in the family. But my sea mosses have a lot more properties that make them wonderful for women who are on the natural fibroid freedom journey. You got soursop, which is soursop is a womb food. It's anti-tumor. Some say that it may prevent and eliminate cancer. I don't know about that, but some say it may. Let's just put it that way. And then I have the Green Machine sea moss gel, which is slowly creeping up to be the best selling flavor so far, probably because it is dense in nutrients as well as properties that help you to reverse iron deficiency anemia, oxygenate your cells and your body. It's almost like a multivitamin because it's got the power of things like moringa in the Green Machine sea moss gel, hemp protein, which is something that I put in every smoothie. And then you've got other superfoods that help to balance hormones naturally and boost your fertility in that. But then I also have, for women who are serious about shrinking fibroids and you're suffering from iron deficiency anemia, check out the Iron Butterfly sea moss gel. That right there is amazing. I'm actually quite proud of that combination of superfoods and herbs. It is got one of my favorite supplements to use to reverse heavy bleeding by the manufacturer who no longer sells it to the public. It's called Blackstrap Molasses. It's in that sea moss gel flavor. Goddesses, it's a great source of iron. It boosts your fertility. It's got lots of magnesium. They all have lots of magnesium, but it's great for building a better period, fertility, balancing hormones, so on and so forth. And then of course you can get elderberry for your immune, and then bladderwhack for natural hormone balance, for weight management to boost your metabolism, slim that waistline, baby. Go over to my website after you put the comment blue leggings on this video to let me know you watched this long. Only the people who watch this long will get this discount. Go on over and go to https://fibroidfreedom.bigcartel.com. This is my temporary website. I guess I'll put it in the chat. If anybody has any last minute comments or questions before we sign off, let me know and I'll be happy to comment or answer. Can I type in my own chat? Because I don't see how, y'all. Super chat, top chat. I guess I don't know how to do my chat. Live chat. I don't know. Anyway, I just told you the website. Oh, thank you. Thank you, BYOK platform. Yes, thank you so much. I will be back. Today's Thursday. Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Dance Fit with Cecily, where we do a fibroid optimized dance fitness workout, and every workout has a fibroid word or message of the day. So I'll see y'all back here for that. And until next time, I'm sending you peace, love, and fibroid release.